So, in this lecture, we're going to be talking about keystone habits. Now, keystone habits are those habits that act as pillars in, of course, good habit development. And this keystone habit is a good habit that acts to interlock other good habits around it, but requires no extra work to form. In short, you can consider the keystone habit as a habit that's acting in terms of a soil for which other good habits can go from. And the best part about it is that these habits also work on eliminating bad habits from our lives. So they ensure a huge amount of benefits while taking absolutely no extra time and no extra effort. And if you can focus on just one type of habit development, focus on creating a set of good keystone habits and watch as your life is transformed bit by bit before your very eyes. Now, there are, of course, a few examples that we're going to mention real quick before getting deeply into a few other examples that I think, and of course, all the research thinks that these are one of the main and most used keystone habits. First is active goal setting. As opposed to passive goal setting where you just set goals in your mind, active goal setting involves writing out not only your long-term goals, but also creating monthly, weekly, and daily milestones and tracking, of course, eventually your progress. The 80-20 rule, and there's going to be a lecture about it in this course. The 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle, as we're going to talk about it, states that 80% of the results come from the 20% of the efforts. So by identifying the 20% of the efforts and targeting those, we create a huge progress. And because of it, we feel better, we end up happier, and employ other good habits while eliminating the bad ones. And of course, something strictly correlated with this is time management, an essential skill for any success-minded person. The keystone habit of time management involves effectively managing your time to ensure you make the most out of it. This reduces the amount of stress and anxiety, it improves your mood and your emotions, and allows for the greatest amount of progress in your daily life. Expense tracking, by tracking, of course, our daily expenses with a spreadsheet, or if you just have a system that you're using, we can no longer hide from the financial truth. We can see all the money going out of the door, and because of it, we're more conscious on what we spend. We end up saving more money and looking for ways to improve our financial health and financial situation. And finally, exercising, whether it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter how long it is. We're going to talk about it more in detail, as this is one of the most important keystone habits that you can establish. And the reason why these keystone habits are so important, as we said before, because these keystone habits, they lead to the development of multiple good habits. They start a chain effect in your life that produces a number of positive outcomes. So in short, these would influence the creation and formation of other habits. For example, identifying as the type of person, according to Wikipedia, who takes care of their body and is in the habit of exercising on a regular basis can also influence eating better and using credit cards less. In business, safety can be a keystone habit that influences other habits that results in greater productivity. Now, the three main keystone habits that we want to talk about in this course are exercising, making your bed, and planning. We will talk in details about the benefits of exercise as a keystone habit, and same thing goes for making your bed. But for planning, we're not just going to talk about the details, but we're also going to include lectures, because planning is easier said than done, and I think it's essential for you to learn planning. In order for it to become a keystone habit, you need to know how to plan, and that's exactly why we included lectures about it. But starting with exercising. Exercise triggers people to start eating better. The Association for Applied Sport Psychology wrote an article about psychological benefits of exercise. And in fact, they added all of these psychological benefits in the article as part of people who have exercising as a habit, a daily habit or a keystone habit, improving your mood, reduce stress, as well as an improved ability to cope with stress, improved self-esteem, pride in physical accomplishments, increased satisfaction with oneself, improved body image, increased feelings of energy, improved in confidence in your physical abilities, and decreased symptoms associated with depression. And we're not talking about an hour and a half or 2 hours of high intensity workout. We're talking about even a brief walk at low intensity can improve mood and increase energy. As little as 10 minutes of aerobic exercises can have a positive effect. For long-term benefits, you should exercise anywhere between 3 times a week for 30 minutes per session at a moderate intensity. Programs longer than 10 weeks work best for reducing symptoms of depression, and this is all, of course, according to the Association for Applied Sport Psychology in their Psychological Benefits of Exercises article. So with all of these different areas in your life that are going to be improved through regular exercise, you're going to notice that you'll be avoiding a lot of habits because of these benefits, and you'll be establishing new beneficial habits also because of these benefits that come along with daily exercising. Now, another keystone habit that is also really important is making your bed every morning. A lot of people, sometimes they wake up and they don't feel like they want to make their bed. They feel that it's useless or pointless, and they usually end up just skipping it and leaving the bed in a mess. However, researchers found that making your bed every morning can actually increase your productivity. And not just that, it can create greater sense of well-being for each and every person. So looking at the big image, when you're starting your day and you start with fixing your bed, this is you finishing the first task that you had that day. You will get a good boost to start your day. You're going to be starting your day with success because you already finished one task, and you just woke up and you already finished one task. This sense of accomplishment will give you a really good boost to start your day off right. And moreover, it will encourage you to keep your room more tidy. And once that happens, once you have a room that is very well organized and clean, you'll be able to focus more because there's going to be less distraction and less mess around you. You'll be able to plan and become more productive because, of course, making your bed every morning, as we said before, can make you more productive. According to the book, The Power of Habit, the author said that making your bed every morning can actually increase your productivity. Now, scientists also found that making your bed every morning lowers your stress and improves your mood. So having all of these benefits around a simple idea or a simple habit, which is making your bed every morning, is actually really simple. And that's why this keystone habit is so important. And after all, even if we don't want to talk about any of the benefits, it will just look better, and therefore you will feel better. And finally, planning out your days. Sitting down and developing a plan for the rest of the day, rest of the week, rest of the month, or rest of the year can help you highlight and pinpoint and focus on the most important tasks that you have. And if everything works right and everything works according to plan, you are looking at a best case scenario. You are looking at a grand slam home run, which is you achieving your goals and finishing the tasks that you have. This is exactly why planning out your day can also be a really good keystone habit that has a lot of chain of other good habits correlated to it. But we're going to talk more about planning, as we said, in further lectures for you to be able to understand it properly.